Sharper Point Commentary, presented by Schwartz Laser Eye Center.
When COVID first came on the scene a few years ago, I remember saying that we would use the word unprecedented an unprecedented number of times. But even with COVID fading into recent history, we are seeing current historical moments keep that word current.
It's an incredible historic moment. It's unprecedented.
Arizona Republican political consultant Stan Barnes is not overusing the word because we haven't seen anything like this before. Sure, Democrat President Lyndon Johnson dropped out of the re-election race, but he was far from his party's presumptive nominee when he called it quits and threw the 1968 Democratic National Convention into further disarray. But as we say goodbye to Biden...
And eventually Joe Biden could just not hold on.
Yeah, and hello to Harris.
It's a political science serious experiment all playing out in real time for us to see, and it's making history, and we are living through it.
It's not a given that Trump will travail, because as KTAR senior political analyst Mike O'Neill points out,
it is now Donald Trump who would most prefer that we not talk about age as an issue.
And the most interesting Democratic convention since 1968, which ironically will also be held in Chicago later this month, will not be necessarily in disarray, because
there may be a groundswell in the direction of endorsing Harris. This nomination may be a foregone conclusion very quickly.
One thing is for sure, a change of guard has brought in a ton of dough. Super PAC Act Blue announced grassroots supporters have raised almost $50 million by the end of the day yesterday, claiming it was the biggest fundraising day of the entire 2024 cycle. Of course, Arizona is once again in the midst of the conversation about whom Harris will pick to replace her on the ticket if she's moving up to the top of the ticket. And Mark Kelly, despite his in-step Senate voting record, is seen as a moderate Democrat with a great backstory as an astronaut and a fighter pilot who flew in battle, who represents a battleground state. Yeah, but it kind of does come back to money. And by the way, I'm not going to charge up that $50 million to Harris jumping into the lead for the Democratic nomination. I'm going to chalk it up to Biden dropping out. But speaking of money, here's a little interesting history that Trump has with Harris. He donated $5,000 to Kamala Harris's California Attorney General re-election campaign in 2011 and $1,000 in 2013. He and she got some guff for the donations as they came at a time when Trump was facing a class action lawsuit into whether Trump University had bilked students out of money. Harris's office never took action against Trump University or Donald Trump. Officials working for Harris at the time said the donations had nothing to do with that lack of action. I don't think it hurts Trump's chances. He's done much less ethical things that voters have overlooked. And considering that it came out in the 2016 presidential race that he gave to his opponent, Hillary Clinton, when she ran for the Senate and he won, maybe this is a good luck charm, because I don't think he ever gave to Biden, lost to Biden in 2020. But all this is unprecedented.
Thanks for watching Sharper Point. Click to see more from Arizona's morning news and tap the button in the middle to subscribe.